Hi,
Alrighty.
everyone. Thanks for joining us for this introductory webinar on introducing I, A, and B member agents to Branch Insurance, our newest carrier that's part of the Independent Market Solutions platform. Before we begin, and I introduce you to Kama and Kylie with Branch, just wanted to give you a little brief overview of the Independent Market Solutions, or as we call it, IMS, and give you that overview. First of all, my name is Tim Wonder. I'm Vice President of Membership with IANB, and Independent Market Solutions is a program that IANB joined in a partnership with other Big I estates across the country, because of a survey that we did several years ago related to member needs. And it turned out that one of the top concerns of our members was carrier advocacy and representation and the need for additional markets. And that's where IMS came about. As I said, it's a 14-state footprint, mostly up and down the East Coast, but also Texas, Louisiana, and California. And it's state affiliates, our sister associations across the country that have brought our members together to provide market access for member agencies. One of this slide kind of goes over the top benefits of being in the IMS platform. First and foremost, it is only available to IANB members, and the main benefit that the agencies that are participating in IMS tell us is that the fact that you can gain access to markets with carriers, top-ranked carriers, with low and in some case no volume requirements. You don't have the carrier appointment. You are a sub-producer under the IMS umbrella. But even though you're not directly appointed with the carrier in that environment, we do offer very extremely competitive commission rates, and in many cases, street level commission. There are no fees for participating, so there's no initiation fee, no monthly fees, and you don't have the restrictive contract terms that you often get with other market access programs. So it's basically place the business with us that you can, give us the opportunity to create and grow a book of business with you. And the other nice thing about it is, in many cases, if you grow a book of business large enough with the carrier, often many of the carriers in the program will give you a direct appointment. So you can graduate out of the IMS program and then get that direct appointment. Enrolling in IMS is very simple. It's just a two-step process. They're going to want our partners at IMS are going to want your proof of E&O and your licenses and a sub-producer agreement. You fill out some paperwork relative to the ACH so that you can get paid, which is important. And then once you go through the process, you can signify on the online portal which carriers that you would like a producer appointment, a sub-producer appointment with. In this case, you could select Branch, or at any time add a carrier that's not already in your arsenal. And then very quickly, we can get you up and running in the IMS platform. Speaking of those companies, we have a good mix of personal and commercial, as well as some niche markets with jewelry, cyber, flood, pet insurance. So there are lots of offerings as well as specifically workers' comp on the commercial side. But the carrier that we'd like to introduce you to this morning is Branch Insurance. Branch is, we're excited to have them on as a personal lines company. And with us today is Kama Stauffer, the Associate Account Manager with Branch, as well as Kylie Fadley, an agency sales trainer with Branch. So I'm going to turn it over to Kama, who is going to give you a little background on Branch. Then Kylie's going to run through the underwriting part of it, and then we'll come back and close it out. So Kama and Kylie, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tim. Hey, everyone. I'm Kama Stauffer. I've been with Branch almost 2 years now. I originally led our agency support team and helped build out all of those processes. And then just recently came over to our national accounts team back in June of this year. So, really, I just wanted to go through some history of Branch, just to give you an idea of who we are as a company. So, Branch was founded back in 2017 by our CEO, Steve Leckis. He thought that there had to be an easier way for all things insurance. It had to be easier to buy, easier to sell, easier to understand. And something that I love to throw out there is that while we are an insurtech and we get lumped into that space, we do come with an insurance first background, and we're really just trying to add tech to make it easier. Steve, at one point, he worked at Allstate and he was the president of Esurance. And then he also spent some time over at Verisk Analytics. He was the president there. And if you haven't heard of Verisk, they're a large data provider for insurance companies and insurance data. So while we were founded back in 2017, our first policies weren't really on the books until about 2019. And then we first rolled out with independent agents in late 2020. We are rapidly expanding. When I started back in February of 2021, we were in 6 states, and now we are in 33, almost 34. There should be one launching any day now. We do focus on home, auto, and umbrella. We're more of that standard preferred market. So if you have, someone with a house and a couple autos, probably be a really good fit if there's not a lot of loss history there. And I'm sure you'll be able to see why agents love us as Kylie goes into her demo. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself, Kylie, or my counterpart, Dustin Thomas, as well. And Kylie, I'll go ahead and send it over to you.
Thanks, Kama. Hi, everybody. My name is Kylie. I am our agency trainer here at Branch. I've been at Branch almost a year. Prior to coming to Branch, I had experience with an independent agency. We did work with 42 carriers. Branch was one of those carriers, which is really why I'm here. It really intrigued me to move over the rapid way that they were growing. And they really have changed the insurance game. And I think that's important to call out. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen and pop over into our system, and we will get going. Okay. This is staff. So this is what where you would start a new quote or service an existing member, locate a policy. Really everything that you're doing is going to be in this staff portal. We do call all of our quotes offers. So over here at the top right, you'll see it says new offer. That is referring to a quote. All of our quotes are, all of our offers are fully bindable. All the reporting is ran on both home and auto on the front end. So that eligibility is already determined when you get into the system. So we're going to select new offer. And then you just need a couple pieces of information to get started. You need a first and last name as well as an address. You'll notice that a lot of the information is naturally going to fill in for you. That is only there to help you move a little quicker. If it is new construction, you'll just make that selection. It is going to ask for the prior address. And then the property detail information. With new builds, you're just confirming and updating all that information in the system. If it is a new purchase, same thing, you're going to go ahead and make that selection over here on the right. It still is going to ask for that prior address. It's looking for their existing information. It's looking for their existing policy information. If they're a first-time home buyer, it's still going to ask for that address. It's trying to locate that existing auto policy. So really do not skip that step, or it's going to not allow you to run reporting. Okay, and then you'll enter that email and phone number as well on that initial page. From here, this is a checkbox just confirming our FCRA agreement, letting your client know that we're going to be running our reporting on the back end. And then you're going to go ahead and select C price. Over here over to the right, this is how you get direct contact with our agency support team. You can always hit them on that chat and it's going to pull up the next available chat agent. These are licensed agents, designated team strictly for our independent channel. So really, really good resource for you to utilize as you're in the system. If you have any additional underwriting questions, or just confirmation that all the reporting is ran, or if there's an eligibility discretion and you are sure that this should have went through, they're going to be able to pull up any information for that existing account or for that account. You can also send them an email this way, or feel free to give them a call. This is just nice because it's at your fingertips convenience. Down here at the bottom, you're going to see this black box that says go to offer. That's going to go ahead and pop over to the platform where all the reporting has already been ran, and it's going to confirm some details for you. It's always best to start left to right. This is where you can make any edits and also confirm discounts and then continue on to the tabs as you go through. So like I had mentioned, it's already determined eligibility. So it's ran all reporting for both home and auto. Let's say that you were not doing home, you were only doing auto. At that point, you can just make your selection to only do auto, or vice versa. If you were only doing home, you can still make that selection and edit to what type you're looking for. Based on eligibility, it will automatically kick out that bundle option, but you certainly can make the edits as you go through the quote. Switch to renters option. So if you were looking to add an HO4, it is an endorsement to the existing auto policy. So you would switch to renters. And what it's going to do is it's going to eliminate this home details tab and pop over a renters tab. And in that renters tab, this is where you can make your updates to your property coverage, your personal property, and your MedPay, as well as your deductible. It is an endorsement to the auto policy for now. So if you ever don't see that option, it's not available in all of our states as of today. So if you don't see that switch to renters option, unfortunately, it's because it's just not available in that state yet, but it will be very soon. We're working on making sure every state has both home and auto as well as HO4. We're going to continue on with the switch to homeowners, and then that's going to go ahead and update that home detail screen and eliminate the renters. But let's see. Continuing over here on the left, you're going to have some price details. It's going to touch on a 12-month home as well as a 6-month auto policy. Brief breakdown of the billing. So as of today, without any edits, it looks like it's $237 due today, and then you have 5 installments beginning 12/13 of $52.90. As you go through the tabs and make any updates, you will recalculate that premium, and that essentially could change. The C factors impacting price. This is really helpful. We've actually recently just added this to the external option. It was available internally, and on the agency experience side, we really wanted to have this as an option for our external agents. This will help you kind of understand our pricing. Home characteristics, this is going to have any red flags for the home. So in this scenario, it's asking us to confirm the roof age. That could potentially remove a discount or add a discount as well. People's tab, any accidents or violations that are reported to the drivers in the household, that's where you're going to find this information. So this is confirming that there is an unverifiable driving record as well as a violation. So it's just asking us to confirm that. It does briefly touch on the insurance score. When we hop into the People's tab, I will touch on it a little bit further. This is just confirming that insurance score is a factor. The cars tab, this is going to have any accidents or reported to that vehicle. So just confirming that information is always helpful. Continuing over here on the left, like I mentioned previously, that bundle option is automatically going to be determined. We prefer a bundle, but we understand occasionally that is not what the client is looking for. So this is where you can make those updates as well. If you were just looking for monoline, that would eliminate that bundle discount. Paperless, same thing. It will almost always kick out a paperless option. We are a work from home native company, and we are very forward with tech. So we will always include that paperless company or paperless option, but you certainly can remove it. You would just hit that trash can. The caveat to that is by removing that discount, the client still will be required to sign an application online. So they're going to receive that email from us here at Branch that's going to ask them to complete that initial application online. Connected home, you'll see here that it says save up to 18%. That is our monitored alarm security discount. I'm sure you're familiar with that. Every carrier has that. Ours is a little bit different. Just based on that save 18% alone is very different than other carriers. If you hit that plus sign, as you update the provider, and let's say you have several devices in the home, as you update those devices, it's an enhanced discount. So that's where the save up to 18% comes into factor. So as you're updating these devices, you're going to go ahead and get that updated and then select apply discount. Every time that you make any edits, you always want to hit this update offer price down here at the right. That's going to go ahead and recalculate any changes that you would have made, but it's also going to update that discount, which is why I'm pointing that out. It's going to take off quite a bit. Obviously, confirming those devices is very important, but if in most cases, if it's a robust security system, they're going to have several devices. It took off about $125, so really, really beneficial discount. I wanted to call out in this new sign up over here on the right, we do partner with quite a few carriers to offer a security service, ADT being one of them. ADT will reach out to your client, get that policy set up. But if you add this, it's going to immediately apply that discount, and ADT is going to reach out and get everything that we would need in order to continue. I think it's important to call those out because SimpliSafe is a really nice opportunity to add a discount and also provide an excellent service. It's a 7-piece security system, completely free. It's only $18 a month. The first month is also free, but there's no contract there. So if you have somebody that was a new purchase, the house was a new purchase, and they're debating if that's something they're looking for, this is really a nice opportunity to throw that on there. SimpliSafe, again, will reach out to your client, get it set up, provide us all documentation, but really nice benefit to working with us. We have a couple discounts that might potentially apply here. Inventory discount, that is an app-based discount. We automatically, with our welcome email to our clients, it's recommending them to download the Branch app. If you apply this discount, this is in that original app. It's going to ask them to upload some exterior photos of the home, a few interior as well. If there's any vehicles, it's going to ask to determine that there's no prior damage to the vehicles. Any additional liability, we actually will take swimming pools with diving boards and slides, as long as the yard is fenced. This is where it will ask for photos. We will take a trampoline, as long as it's netted. This is also where it'll ask for those photos. So just making sure that you're setting that customer up for expectation, just reminding them, yes, this is an excellent discount, and it's just going to ask for some exterior photos. It is very easy to obtain. Occasionally, if it's somebody that's really not great with technology, great with their phone, this might be the best time to kind of stay away from that. But other than that, really easy to achieve as long as they can follow the prompts on their phone. Okay, we will hop into people, which is the first tab, and move forward with the tabs and go from here. So the drivers is the people's tab. This is going to have all drivers reported to the household. At any point, if there was a driver that was recently removed on their old policy, it might come through, but you can certainly make edits by hitting that trash can. You're just confirming a lot of this information. You're confirming their marital status, highest education level, confirming driver's license information, and then updating potential discounts. Community Drive participation is also an app-based discount. It's in that initial app that is recommended then to download as soon as they purchase the policy, but this is in that app as well. Similar to Snapshot, very, very much in that aspect. It is participation discount, monitoring their driving habits. So it's going to check their hard braking, the time of day they're driving. It will monitor their speed. It is a really nice discount to throw on. It's a 5% inception discount, and at renewal, it could potentially be 20%. If you have somebody that's not a great driver, still add this discount because we have confirmed that the rates will never go up based off that participation. That's really important to know because unlike Snapshot, that is going to increase based off that participation. Again, if you need to remove a driver, you would just select that trash can. And very similar, if you needed to add a driver, you would list first and last name, date of birth, select add, and then you're going to have this pop up down here to update marital status, education level, as well as driver's license information. Popping into Home Details tab, this is going to have all the information in regards to the home. You can link directly over to Zillow, Google Earth, and Google Maps just to confirm we do have the right household. And from here, continuing with confirming all the information with your client. You're going to confirm the ownership, house purchase date. This is really important. It does default 6 years back. It's removing a new purchase discount that applies for 5 years. So just make sure you're confirming that house purchase date. You could potentially be missing out on a discount there as well. Continuing to scroll down, property information, you're going to confirm the built year. Usually this information is pretty accurate. It's locating, it's pulling from the auditor's site, their existing policy, any information that we can find, it's usually pretty accurate, but just confirming that information obviously is just super helpful to move forward. So confirming that built-in year, the home type, families and dwelling, the home quality, this typically will pre-fill it standard. You have the ability to update that to above average, custom or premium. This is also the best way to build into our replacement cost estimator, which I'll scroll down and show you. You see here, it's coming through at 187. This is actually not editable. A lot of this dwelling home policy coverage, you can make updates and confirm some details. But as far as updating that estimated cost to rebuild, the only way to do that is going to be updating this quality. I always take it to above average. Unless it's way over. I do think staying away from that economy side, which is an option, unless it is a true basic home, which I'll show you. Unless it's a true basic home, I recommend to completely stay away from that. It's looking for finishes in the home as well. So the economy one is the one that I tend to stay away from. Standard and above average is usually a pretty good, place to be. Obviously, if it's way under, you have the ability to update to customer premium as well. Okay, and so confirming the square footage, also really important. If there's been any additions or updates, that typically is not able to be found. Confirming stories, bathrooms, another really good one. If there's been any additional bathrooms added, that's also not going to be reported. So confirming that, wood stoves, as well as basement finish and square footage, just confirming a lot of that information. Exterior wall type, another really good one to look out for. If there has been any updates, sometimes that's really hard to locate. In a lot of cases, it's been updated to vinyl if it's reported as aluminum or metal. So just confirming that information and updating as well. Roof year, a lot of times with roof year, it's found based off the auditor site. So if a contractor has updated the roof and they did not update that certificate on the auditor's website, this is where that's important to confirm. That could potentially be removing or adding a discount, which we always want to get ahead of. So always confirm that roof year as well. The fire protection class, in certain states, the wildfire hazard score, these are also not editable. If you are certain that it's reporting incorrectly, which does happen on occasion, it's very rare, we can work with Verisk and get these updated. We just need a little bit of information. So if you ever run into this scenario where you are certain, if you have their prior policy and you know it should be a different protection class, we just need a little bit of information, but you can contact our support team and we can get that over to underwriting to look at. If they have an existing mortgage, you're also going to have that information. So not only will you have the loan number, you're also going to have that holder. That is really, really helpful information for you to continue forward. Sometimes on occasion, that's the information that's stopping you from binding. So just confirming that information. Looks like we have you can just say to your client, looks like we have First Source Bank with loan number 125. Is that accurate? The loan number is very important, but as long as we have the bank, that is where it's usually pretty accurate. So just updating and confirming that information. If it is a new loan, you can make your updates. You would just add the loan number as well as the holder, which a lot of that information is also going to be available for you in our system as well, as long as with the address. Moving on to scheduled personal property. If you need to add anything, you would just make your selection in here. Guns do fall under sports. But as you update this information, you're going to list the amount, a brief description, and add personal property. In some states, we do allow an appraisal that's up to 5 years old. And then there's a couple states out there that it cannot be over 12 months old. And you can certainly confirm that information with our support chat or your success manager. But every state is a little bit different in our business. So just confirming that information, we can get that information over too. Moving on to home policy coverage, we're going to hop into dwelling limit. Again, the only way to update that limit is by updating that quality, and you can certainly do that, update and then select update offer price. Personal property, additional living expense, and other structures, these can be a la carte for your client's needs. So if it pulls through at 60%, but you are looking to increase that to 70, or if you're looking at lower that to 50, these are all editable. So certainly make any updates in there to fit your client's needs. Just confirm that information with them. I remember a long time ago, I had a customer that did not want anything over 100,000, and their personal property was coming through a little over 200,000. And I explained the risk there. And I think it's nice that this is an option for you to make these updates if you have a client that is very specific with what they want for their personal property. Moving on to family liability, that's our personal liability. It'll pull through at 100,000, but you can certainly make updates to, if you have an agency standard, if you do typically write it a little bit of a higher end. So you can certainly make updates as well as guest med pay. The limit is at our highest limit is at 5,000, but you can certainly make updates in there as well. Deductibles, if they have an existing policy, it's going to find their existing policy and match that deductible. This is editable. So if you need to make, any updates in there, certainly do so. And same thing with wind and hail. Just make sure you're paying attention as you make those updates. And if you do make any updates and you're looking to recalculate that premium, again, you would just make your update and select update offer price. That's going to go ahead and update any changes that you would have made. Other coverages, these are able for you to make updates as well. And I do think it's really important to know that this more info button is extremely helpful. I think that Branch's wording is we've definitely got our own, but confirming in that more info, if you're ever confused about a endorsement or an other coverage limit, just confirming that is super helpful. And this is where it really is important as agents to offer feedback. If there's something that you cannot figure out, hover in this chat and send that message. We want to make our system the most intuitive system, and we do take feedback very seriously. I think it's important to call out that if you see something that you think would be a little bit better, share that information. It does not go unheard. We always want to make sure that our system is the best system to be in. So knowing that information as an outside agent, working with several other carriers, we want that information. Water backup, you'll notice in here, which looks like I'm frozen. Let's see, let me try to scroll down. It's not allowing me to, there you go. Water backup, as you increase this limit, you'll notice that deductible does change. Just make sure you're confirming that information with your client, just in case there's any confusion there. And then continuing forward, increase building structure. If you're looking to add additional to your dwelling, that is the best way to do that. And I unfortunately am frozen. Okay, we will just continue on here. And then scrolling down, a lot of these endorsements are pretty standard in comparison with a lot of carriers. A couple things I think it's important to know is this roof surface extended endorsement. This is an excellent endorsement. We actually will take all roofs except for wood roofs and T-lock shingles, as long as there's no lifting or curling of the shingles, and also regardless of age. We do want it to be in good condition. But this endorsement is excellent because it's going to take that actual cash value roof and add replacement cost. You'll notice if it's a newer roof that this will be automatically pre-selected. So roofs that are 15 years or newer, this will be selected, but roofs that are 16 years or older, I encourage you to add this endorsement. It is built into the premium, but a really nice endorsement to add replacement cost to that roof. Host protection. So that is similar to an Airbnb endorsement, really nice endorsement to add. If you have somebody that does not do over 31 days at a time, this is going to be able for you to add that endorsement. So another really excellent endorsement that a lot of carriers don't offer. So just confirming that information, that it's not for extended stay, also really helpful endorsement to add. Equipment breakdown and service line, that's a dual endorsement. So it is equipment breakdown and service line. Also, unfortunately, it's not available in every carrier, in every state, excuse me. So if you're in the quote and you don't see that available, it's because at this time it's not available, but it will be very soon. It is third party with us with Liberty Mutual, and they're determining what states it can be available in. So you'll notice if it's not there, it will be very soon. I'm going to touch on our umbrella. Let me just make a couple updates here. We just need to update our family liability to at least 300,000, and then our bodily injury limits need to be at 250, 500, and then we'll be able to take a look at that umbrella. And like I mentioned, any updates that you do make, you want to make sure that you're hitting, you want to make sure you're hitting that update offer price before continuing forward. And that is just confirming that the information that you would have updated does continue. Right. And then we'll just pop down here and that umbrella should be available. If you ever, if you're ever in an offer and you don't see that it's there, before contacting agency support, always update your bodily injury limits to 250, 500, and then your personal liability to at least 300,000. And then you'll see that that toggle is available. At this time, we do only have a $2 million umbrella. So just confirming that information, updating any vehicles, any licensed drivers under 25. If they do have any snowmobiles, motorcycles, ATVs, personal watercraft, boats, or rental properties, make sure you're confirming and updating that information. Unlike a lot of carriers, our umbrella will extend over to that product as long as it's listed. So really, that's another thing that really does set Branch apart, is that our umbrella, once, we want the eligibility to continue forward as long as their information is updated in here. Again, you'll just hit that update offer price, and then we will hop into auto details. With the auto details, again, you're just confirming a lot of the information. In a lot of senses, it's going to be accurate. So just confirming, if they've recently sold a car within the last 30 days, that is where you're going to have to update that. But a lot of the information is accurate. confirming the collision deductibles and comprehensive deductibles, it's going to find their existing policy and automatically have that as a setting, but you can certainly make updates, especially if their deductibles on their prior policy are a little bit higher. You can certainly log in and update those to 250 if necessary. We do allow ride shares. So those Uber, Lyft, Uber Eats, where a lot of people have to go to that separate policy, we will allow it as long as it is on a full coverage vehicle and you add this ride share. It is per vehicle as you update, but still another really good opportunity just to have your home and auto with one carrier, not taking that auto to another carrier just based on them working with Uber or Lyft. Like I had mentioned, if you need to remove a vehicle, you would just hit that trash can. And very similar, if you needed to add a vehicle, you would add the VIN and select add car. And then you're going to have this drop down to update your deductibles if necessary. We do, in some states, we do allow pull behind trailers. You would just add the VIN, select the type of trailer, and then you can make your updates to your deductibles as well. Your auto policy coverage, this is going to have their existing policy information. So it's finding their current policy and updating the bodily injury limits, which I have technical issues, but it's going to match their current bodily injury limits. But in a scenario, if they had state minimums and you are looking to increase those limits, as you should, certainly you can make adjustments if you need to. Information from prior carrier. So this is going to have their existing policy information. So it's going to have their carrier, how long they've been with them. But I think the important thing here is this policy expiration date. It's going to carry over when their current policy expires. So super helpful information as an agent to kind of seal the deal there. Really, really helpful. And not a lot of carriers also offer that. So that's extremely helpful. It's going to have the drivers in the household as well as the vehicles and those auto policy coverages as well. From there, again, you're going to hit that update offer price, and then we're going to pop into settings. The settings tab is really just confirming policy effective dates, making sure we have the correct information. So again, all the information is over here on the left to help you if you ever are on the phone with a client and they're like, well, what if I just stick with my home and I keep my auto with my current carrier? This is true pricing. So you can say, well, it looks like we're actually saving you quite a bit of money by switching both home and auto, but it's about $1334.98 if you're just looking to do home. And this is an average monthly installment if they only did monoline auto. So super helpful that you don't have to go in and make those updates to edit, remove multi-policy discount. The price details, again, it's going to just briefly touch on the premium, your future installments. Obviously only there to help you. And then the discounts are also going to be available again. Just to confirm, if you're looking to add or remove any discounts, you get halfway through the call and you realize maybe, this isn't the best client for that paperless discount, or it is, and you can certainly make updates over there as well. Okay, and then scrolling into the home policy settings, this is where you update your effective date of your home. You're confirming if it's mortgagee billed. If you don't have the mortgage information yet, you will by now. So confirming that mortgage information, making sure we have the holder, and then you're all set for the home. Auto policy settings, same thing. You're confirming that effective date. If you needed to bind it out, future, you can just make your updates in there. I think it's important to know that your effective date is when your policy payment does come out for the auto. So if you were binding this effective 12/14, that payment, that first payment is not going to come out until 12/14. So the effective date is going to be your billing date. And then your billing day is going to be future. So today we're taking a payment of $298. Our future installments are going to be the 13th of every month. So beginning 12/13, we have 5 installments of $65.58. This is editable. So certainly make adjustments in here, but I think it's important to know as you do make adjustments, you're going to want to hit that update offer price because it is going to recalculate some premium. So in this scenario, we're binding the policy effective 11/14, but they want their billing date. I'm going to update that. They want their billing date, so future installment billing dates, to be the 16th of every month. We're going to go ahead and select update offer price. What it's going to do is they still have that $298 due, and then in 2 days, beginning 11/16, they have a payment of $65.58. So just confirming that always is going to be helpful. And a lot of times it's never a problem with the client as long as you explain it. So it will automatically pre-fill the best option, so the day before for your future installment dates, but that is editable, at your availability to update. Our preferred payment method is going to be credit card. So it will pre-fill at credit card. We certainly can do bank withdrawal, whatever works best for your client. There is no additional discount for updating it to bank withdrawal. We used to have an installment process of verifying bank accounts. That's actually gone. So this is a super helpful forward for us. If you wanted to do credit card or bank withdrawal, not a problem. We're very happy for that. So I wanted to call that out. And then auto payment frequency, it will pre-fill as a monthly installment, but you can do a 6-month pay in full, just confirming that information and updating. I will say that our 6-month pay in full discount is a really helpful discount. So if you have the ability to add that, certainly quote that and make sure your client is aware that it's a helpful discount. I'll update that, and then we will pop into our underwriting review, and then we're good to go. And you'll see that it took off quite a bit for it being a 6-month policy. So really nice discount. From here, we're going to hop into continue to underwriting review. This will not pop up for you. This will actually say 1. This is because it's a test client. There is several of that, Noel, in the background. So property, this is asking you to confirm that you took a look at one of these. And you'll have that question down here. Yes, I did. And then this is just saying that we do not allow asbestos. So if it was an asbestos home and you selected yes, it would actually deny the home. And then you could do the auto. So just confirming that information as well. We'll go to continue to checkout. This is where this is your last step, confirming all information. If you don't have the email, you're going to need it by now. So you'll update that information. And the phone number, same thing. You want to make sure you update that phone number. Continuing down to the home. We actually will send over a mortgage packet to the lender if you list the email. So really helpful. That was an agent request, and we worked with our dev team to get that in there, and super helpful. Especially for closings. It'll include the replacement cost estimator, a declaration page, and an invoice, so they can just send that payment directly. This is where you do need your routing and account information, which let me get that updated. You'll add the client's routing and account number. And I didn't have it pulled up, so bear with me here. All right, so from here, you'll just add that information. We are confirming that there is no business ran on the home, no underground storage tanks. The vehicles are titled to the client, no prior damage. Sorry, I have it's kind of give me a halt there. I just want to make sure that that goes through for us. And then this is our payment disclosure. So this is confirming that First Source Bank is going to take care of the 1041-41 for the mortgage. The customer has selected pay in full beginning 11/14 of 5/17/14. Pre-sale checklist. So this is just letting your client know that yes, branch is going to send them an email and any that they agree to that communication. Every home that is 60 years or older will have an exterior inspection. So this is just saying that there could be an inspection. The homes that are older, they're pulling a certain amount per state. So it isn't a lottery, and they'll go out and do that exterior inspection. You have confirmed all discounts to the client. If there's any trailing documentation, that is just saying that you'll grab that. The customer has accepted the policy. If there was a need for proof of prior, this is just letting your client know, we might ask for proof of prior. That is typically in a scenario if they don't find the existing information, and you have to make updates. So in most cases, it's rare, but some, occasionally there's that non-reporting company where you will need to do that. We're in the purchase is complete. It's going to go ahead and send that client that welcome email that I was referring to. You're going to have, the privilege of logging into our system here, which is going to have all their policy information. This is where you're confirming any applications. If there was, we bound that policy with proof of a security system. So it's asking for that. This is just saying that the auto or the home application has not been completed. If you need to grab a replacement cost estimator invoice, just, for your own, that is going to be available in this internal documentation, as well as if you need any information, like if you needed a copy of the documentation for the auto, that's also going to be available in this documents tab, which looks like it may be frozen. But if you needed to grab any documentation, like declaration page, ID cards, that's also going to be in here. I think it's important to know too, this 3 incomplete onboarding tasks remain. If you go to customer, it's going to tell you the 3 things that are needed. That is really helpful. We actually just added that as well. It's just asking for that proof of monitored system, which I already touched on, and then the sign application for both home and auto. This over here on the left, this is actually no longer needed, but it is not live in our demo system. So you can disregard it. I think it's important to call out that big red box that's not in your guys' system, but that is just confirming the bank information, which we no longer need to do. So super easy to work with. Our system is very easy to get through. There's a lot of information out there that we can provide, but also really confirming to utilize our resources that we have here at Branch. Again, with this chat channel, licensed agents, very helpful. But knowing that you have several people that want to help here at Branch is very important to know as well. I'll stop sharing my screen and just confirm a few underwriting questions. And Tim, obviously, if you have any, feel free to let me know. But we don't have any dog breed restrictions, so we will take all dog breeds. I think that's nice to know that, we're not going to turn a client away just based off of their dog breed. And again, our roof restrictions, us will taking almost every roof, regardless of age, is really, really helpful. And, swimming pools with diving boards, a lot of times you have to go to that separate carrier. We will take it. Let's see. Tim, do you have any questions that I can answer?
No questions, Kylie. I really do appreciate the overview. I think it was a thorough overview I think it's a good background as to why we decided to partner with Branch in the IMS platform. There are a lot of InsurTech technology companies out there, but none that we found that actually were insurance companies that then said, well, let's back it with the technology platform. So super easy to work with, quick. Once you get used to the platform, you'll go very quickly, and policies can be rated in very quickly throughout that process. And definitely like the fact that it provides options for independent agents to connect with their consumers for very robust offerings in the personal lines arena. This currently is available for agents in Pennsylvania and Maryland, and you can access IMS and Branch at the website on the screen, imsaccess.com. You also have my contact information, my direct dial number, and my email address, where you can follow up for more information and connect with Branch as well as any other company that's in the IMS platform. So Kylie, thanks for your time today. We appreciate the overview. Members, if you have any questions, certainly reach out to us, and thanks everyone for watching this webinar.
So much, Tim. We look forward to working with you guys.